No, you're good. Hey, what's up, you guys? I'm Some Dumb American, and welcome to the June Patreon Hangout stream. How is everybody today?
Doing well.
I'm good.
I'm excited. There are other people here.
Well, I figured anybody who gives me more than $10 a month could be invited too. So, super chat people are allowed in as well.
Hence why I'm here.
Yeah. TK, how are you feeling this month?
Pretty good.
Yeah. So, is there anything in particular you guys wanted to talk about?
Not really.
No? Okay.
I thought maybe they could answer some of the questions I've had to answer the past couple of months.
Yeah, well, we talked, you guys know how much I don't like movies, so what kind of movies do you guys like?
I haven't really done movies in a while.
So are you more of a video game type person?
Lately, yeah.
What kind of games do you play?
Right now, Metroid.
Metroid, which one?
All of them.
Just all of them?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I went through the Prime games, then I did Other M, and then I did the Game Boy Advance games, and I'm going into Super Metroid soon.
What did you think of Other M?
Oh, this is an interesting way because this game gets hated a lot. I actually I enjoyed the game a lot. It takes me a little while to gather my thoughts on this game because there are some problems. I'm not delusional.
Good to know.
And as far as me and movies, I watch pretty much anything, but haven't really had the time to go see movies. And I game a fair bit.
What kind of games do you play?
I play 4X, strategy, RPGs, FPSs, pretty much anything except for racing and sports.
So were you
I hate racing and sports too.
No Mario Kart?
I can do Mario Kart, but that's about it.
It's an exception.
Mario Kart 64 I have fond memories of.
Yep.
Yeah.
Also, a lot of fun.
So is everybody a PC gamer person or Zenith? Clearly you're a Nintendo fan. I'm a Nintendo fan. That's pretty much mainly what I play.
Okay, if it's not Nintendo, it's PC.
Okay.
I'm mainly.
So I'm the only.
Am
I the only console whore here?
If it's only Nintendo, then it's probably some sort of, wiggle room in there. Because Nintendo has a separate market, you would say, to the other consoles like PlayStation and Xbox.
Yeah,
because
definitely.
they're directly competing with PC games. And that's not always a good idea for them.
Well, I have a PS4, so, and I've played Minecraft on a console. I've never played it on a PC, which I have been readily informed that that's the wrong way to do it. But
it is.
I don't have a PC that will run Minecraft, so there you go.
Wow.
I know, yeah. Playing Minecraft on consoles. If this was like the Middle Ages or something, I would probably be burnt at the stake. So.
Probably
favorite
for
games.
playing any video game in the Middle Ages.
Well, that's true, but I'm sure if a lot of the PC people had it their way, I would get burned at the stake.
I get what you're saying.
Yeah. You're not supposed to do that, which is partially why I do it, because I just enjoy the You play Minecraft on PlayStation? Yes.
Yeah, being pro PC is sort of like the societal standard these days.
Yeah,
Not,
it is. It's
not saying it's wrong to be to be for PCs or for consoles.
Oh, he's been very careful there.
Yeah, I know.
well, and the other thing is that I'm mostly a Mac person too.
Ah,
Yeah.
So I'm basically a dirty commie, essentially,
quite nearly.
of the PC,
And a
of the gaming
Nazi.
world. So, what about like favorite games? I know Zenith, you're really into Metroid. Sanguine, what about you?
Favorite game, that's a difficult one. Probably the ones that I get the most playtime out of are Civ games and other 4Xs and turn-based strategy.
Yeah, I've played. I have Civilization. I've got Civ 5 on my shitty PC. And I like it, but that's all. That's about the only thing I've played on a PC. It's the only reason why I have a Steam account as well. So my Steam library is pretty pathetic. TK, I know that we talked about your favorite game, but what is it again? I can't quite remember what the title of it is.
Fallout New Vegas, I'd say. But
Okay.
I like, Fallout New Vegas, Fallout 4, Fallout 3. They're all basically the same game. I just felt New Vegas had a better story and kind of cleaner mechanics.
Yeah.
It did have a great story, but the fact that every side that you could possibly pick was god-awful was aggravating.
Mm-hmm.
Hey,
well, that was true of 4, too.
True.
I've got Fallout 4 on the PS4, and I got to the bugs, and I'm not a fan of the bugs. And
You mean you fell through the map, or?
no, there's actual like massive roaches or ugh.
Oh,
Awful. Yeah, like the first thing they hit you with is massive bugs.
Enough force.
Yeah.
She was saying?
So I just played Donkey Kong. Because that's what you're supposed to do, right?
Which Donkey Kong?
Yeah, you can play. There's like an internal like little.
yeah, you can collect different games for your Pip-Boy in that one.
Yeah, there's a retro. There's like a little retro gaming thing that I found. And I just played Donkey Kong for a while, and I haven't. I don't think I've like gotten out of like the main after you wake up area.
Strokes.
So
you are aware that you have a son to go save, right?
Oh, right. That's right. I had a baby.
Right.
You spend
mildly important.
Remember that you have a son.
Well, hopefully, I do better in real life as a parent. If I have a son to go save in real life.
Well, you probably won't have Preston constantly saying that there's a village that needs your help. So that would probably help out. Not getting distracted.
You probably won't have Donkey Kong strapped to your wrist.
True.
Well, and it's a really expensive Donkey Kong simulator, let me tell you. What about I'm just looking at my game shelf. What about the Dragon Age games? Do you guys play those? I've only played Inquisition.
I've only played Dragon Age 2. I wasn't impressed.
I've played some of all of them, but I've never got to the end of any of them.
Yeah, I haven't gotten to the end of Inquisition. I actually didn't start gaming until, I want to say 3 years ago.
Yeah, I played Dragon Age Origins. Absolutely loved that game. That was ridiculously fun. And then I got Dragon Age 2. Could not stand it. And I haven't tried Dragon Age Inquisition yet.
Of course,
I like it. I just, I tend to like kind of hop hobbies. So for me, getting through an entire game is like a really big deal.
Origin was definitely the best of them, though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Especially since you could pick up any of the classes, and you could be something useful. When you were a warrior, you could become a ridiculous tank and damage dealer. If you went rogue, then you could just be DPS, god, effectively. And when you were mage, you were AoE. Everything would die around you. But then in Dragon Age 2, if you were a warrior, you couldn't do any damage and you couldn't tank for shit. If you were a rogue, you felt like you were throwing, like, coins at people rather than actually trying to stab them. And as a mage, it felt like you were just doing the thumb trick.
You know what other game really did that well? Was Neverwinter Nights 2. Why am I echoing here?
Is it for me?
I think so.
Yeah, let me turn down my mic a bit. See if that helps. Am I still loud enough to hear?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Yeah, I can hear you.
They're still echoing.
Still echoing? Okay, let me...
And it's not me.
Yeah, I just have a really crappy, cheap mic that I'm using right now.
It's okay.
So move that away from there and turn down volume a bit. Has that helped with the echo?
Seems like it. Somebody else.
Testing.
Yep, it works.
It seems to work.
Zenith, is Metroid the only Nintendo game you're into, or are you into some others as well?
No. What? Are you nuts?
Okay,
No.
I just, Zelda?
Metroid's never the only series you're interested in.
So you're a big Zelda fan?
Yeah, it's pretty much a dead series at this point, too, unfortunately.
Mm-hmm.
Although it did make a comeback at E3, I still don't know.
Yeah.
Series going forward. Metroid has always been a, it's always succumbs to bad timing. Because with Super Metroid, which is arguably the linchpin of the Metroid game before Metroid Prime, it was at the tail end of the Super Nintendo's run. It didn't sell all that well. And same thing with Metroid 2, Return of Samus. Same thing with Metroid Other M. And after Metroid Other M, there was no game until Metroid Federation Force, which I have no idea what the game is like because it didn't seem interesting to me.
What was that one that had Adam in it?
There's two, actually. Metroid Fusion for Game Boy Advance and Metroid Other M.
Fusion was the one I was thinking of. I did have a Game Boy Advance.
I have both of them. Metroid Fusion and Metroid Zero Mission.
So you a big Zelda fan?
Yeah.
Which Zelda's your favorite? I know it's a difficult question to answer.
These days, especially, my favorite for a while has been Majora's Mask.
Okay. My favorite's Twilight Princess.
Okay.
Because he's pretty in that one, and you turn into a wolf.
I've read articles about how Link in that game was designed to be more masculine than his previous iterations and iterations since.
Yeah, I can see that.
Yeah, Link was designed to be gender neutral in body type, not like he's actually a non-binary snowflake or anything. He was to be relatable to all people.
Well, he's also usually pretty young in the game, so it would make sense that he doesn't look overly masculine in them either.
Yeah, but a 3D game since Twilight Princess has him an old teenager to adult.
Yeah. He's younger in Breath of the Wild, I've noticed. He looks pretty young.
Yeah, I think
in that
so.
game.
I'm not sure if this is canon or not, but I believe the oldest. I don't know about Breath of the Wild, how old he is, but before then, the oldest Link was Skyward Sword's Link. That's what I heard.
Yeah, I feel like I should know this because I know way too much about about Zelda, but I actually don't know how old he is in all the games because he seems to either be about 12 or younger
12 to
or around 17. Usually his age range.
Yeah.
Have you played all the Zelda games, or are there any that you haven't played?
No. Several of the handheld I haven't played. I've not played Link's Awakening.
Link's Awakening is
Echoing.
actually a really, really good one. It's one of my favorites.
I've heard that too. I felt that going.
Have you played Link to the Past?
Yes.
That one's a good one
That's
too.
my all-time favorite.
Yeah.
Sanguine, you a Zelda fan?
I like Zelda, but it's been a while since I've played any of the new ones or any of them in general. I played a lot of their Game Boy ports, and I played a good number of them on the N64, but that was pretty much the last time.
64 ones.
Hmm?
There was only 2 N64 Zelda games, and I believe the only Game Boy Advance port was Link to the Past for Swords.
Well, I did Ocarina of Time, Legend of Time. What is it? Legend of Time, Legend of Seasons.
Oracle of Ages and Oracle of Seasons.
Yes, that's. Sorry.
Those are 2 games I could not finish.
I had fun with those.
I like them a little. They're probably my least favorite of the handhelds. But Phantom Hourglass is my least favorite of the handhelds. But
amen.
Hi, Scribe.
Hi.
Hi, Scribe.
Everybody say hi to Scribe.
Hey, Scribe, did you come to talk about Zelda?
Did I come to talk about what?
Zelda. Talking about Zelda.
Robin Williams' daughter? No.
No. Knock it off, Scribe. Zenith, have you played Spirit Tracks?
No.
You should give that one a shot. It's I don't know if you played Phantom Hourglass. It's kind of like they took Phantom Hourglass and they fixed it, and then they put in my opinion, the best music of the entire series. The music in that game is ridiculously gorgeous. But the only thing to keep in mind is that there's like a part in that one where you have to blow on it to do the instrument thing. And the later songs are so frustrating.
I wonder if the Wii U Virtual Console will let me do that.
I don't think it's on there. I think you have to play it on a 3DS or a DS.
Yeah, it's actually on Virtual Console.
Okay, then yeah, you should be able to do it. But it's a really good game. It's one of the more underrated ones.
Yeah.
So, anyway, Scribe, how are you?
I'm okay. How are you?
I'm good. Scribe, have you ever spoken to Sanguine or Zenith?
No.
Nope. This is my first time doing a live hangout. So.
Ooh. Well, my first time doing a live hangout led to me becoming a YouTuber, so be careful.
Scribe's never even talked to me, I don't think.
I don't believe so. I've as far as I know, I haven't talked to almost any of the viewers, save for out of chat and such. So we had a long while back, Monkey and I had a stream where we had a few viewers on in rotation, but I honestly don't remember who they all were. It was so long ago.
Right. That was when I was gone.
Yes.
Yeah, so I didn't get to talk to most of our viewers, but...
Oh, by the way, you misspelled Patreon.
Did I? Yeah, I did. Why are there so many vowels in that?
I don't know. Just English, I suppose, or at least the made-up word.
There we go. Fixed it.
Yeah.
So, what's everybody's favorite movie, if you have one? You don't, that's okay.
The Hunt for Red October.
We know what yours is, Scribe. You're not
Well, why did you ask the
now.
question?
Well, I didn't know.
Everybody but Scribe can answer this question, you should have said.
Well, I learned something new about Scribe I didn't know.
Okay, fair enough. Sangleen, what's your favorite movie?
That's a very tough one.
I have to go.
Oh.
Go ahead.
I would have to pick Logan's Run.
Logan's Run? Whoa.
Yeah.
That's going back.
That's only a year before Star Wars.
That's true, and the quality between the two is non-existent.
Probably the movie that I've been able to watch the greatest number of times without getting bored of it is The Princess Bride.
Aha!
References to that stupid movie are following me around, I swear to God.
You like The Princess Bride, don't you, SDA?
I haven't seen it.
Commie.
That's all right.
Yeah,
I mean, I
Princess
play
Bride.
Minecraft on PlayStation, so I'm pretty much a commie, and I've accepted it.
Also, the book for The Princess Bride is even better than the movie.
What's it even about?
It's a fantasy story. It's
Yes.
like a fairy. It's kind of like it's half a fairy tale, half a satire comedy. At least the movie is.
It's about giant rats.
There's that too. Yes.
Is it really?
It
Yeah.
has a bit of everything from sword fighting to
Mostly about the giant
battles of
rats,
wits
though.
to love to evil people who are trying to break up everything, take over countries. It's a fantastic, sweeping movie.
Yep.
Well, it only has an 8.1 on IMDb or DB.
Well,
Really?
clearly,
Yeah, the other way, the second way.
High standard you have, the SDA.
That's probably only get to the giant rats. Then she'd start playing Donkey Kong on her wrist.
no,
Rats I can handle, but the massive roaches, that's where I draw the line.
yeah, there's no massive bugs in it.
This is true. If you want massive bugs, you have to watch Krull.
And I don't want massive bugs, so we're good.
Or if you want really massive bugs, just skip straight to Starship Troopers.
No, you want really massive bugs. What you want to watch is Arachnophobia.
True. Or Eight-Legged Freaks.
Eight-legged freaks is the other one too. Yeah.
Okay.
That would be arachnids, not bugs.
Oh gosh.
They're this, aren't they? They're bugs.
No, bugs aren't exactly a scientific classification in and of themselves.
Well, they're bugs.
Yeah, I mean, if you equate bugs with insects, then yes,
I don't.
Spiders would not be insects, but
But they're bugs.
So,
yes.
bigger bug than the eight-legged freaks even then would be in the Godzilla movies, Mothra.
True.
Or the giant ants of them.
Ah, yeah.
Yeah.
Why am I... Okay, I'm hearing a squeaky toy, and I don't know why. It's coming from downstairs. Jinx isn't here
Well,
right now.
you do have a dog.
No, he had surgery today.
Surgery.
Why did you make that sound like a euphemism?
Because he had the surgery.
Oh, he got his balls chopped off.
Don't say it
It
like
sounds
that.
like
Well, it's accurate to
Sounds
say it
like-
that.
yeah, it sounds like SDA's just trying to change the topic away from movies she would hate.
Guys,
Yeah, don't worry. We're going to be talking plenty about movies and other nostalgia things tonight on the Monkey Stream. So you should
I
come
might
up.
have to accidentally get the flu between now and then.
Oh well, okay then. Jeez, I
No,
feel
just
loved.
another freak storm rolls in, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh gosh, it's breaking up, Scribe. I don't know what's happening.
Oh my
Bye.
dog! My dog ate my internet connection. Oh no.
Yeah, I thought he wasn't here. She came home.
Yeah. Well, I am going to go have some dinner. I just appreciated the opportunity to drop in and say hi to you guys and everything. But I need to
before
eat.
you go, Scribe, I should mention my embarrassing favorite movie,
Okay.
Legally Blonde.
Yes, that is certainly an embarrassment that you will never live down. Congratulations.
You're welcome.
All right, guys. Bye. I'll see you in about an hour or so.
Bye, guys.
Have a good one, Scribe.
Scribe.
Bye, guys. I leave. Everybody's got to leave.
Sorry.
That's right.
Well, that was pleasant.
Yeah. I might watch The Princess Bride eventually.
It's a fantastic movie. And like I said, if you like the movie, the book is even better because it expands on every bit of ridiculousness in the movie.
As long as there's an audiobook.
I believe there is.
I prefer audiobook.
And the amusing thing is, the only version of the book that you'll be able to find is the abridged version of the book.
And why is that?
Because the entire premise of the book is that the author of the book remembered hearing these stories from his grandfather when he was young and ill.
Mm-hmm.
And eventually he decided that he wanted to go back and do another translation of the book, since it's supposed to be from a historic nation known as Florin. It's a Florinese history book. And he spent all this time trying to find this book, was finally able to find it, had to go through this massive legal battle with the Guildenstern and I can't remember the other lawyer's name, not financial, but law service, in order to get the rights to make the translation, and finally made the translation, wrote the book, cutting out all of the boring parts, because in the original book there's supposedly this 40-page long description about how Buttercup is packing her bag.
A 40-page description. Did you say 40 pages?
40-page description of how she's packing her bag. The amusing thing about this, though, is that there is no such book as The Princess Bride other than the abridged version. The unabridged version was completely fictitious. Florin was never a country. It was a medieval currency, if I remember correctly.
Mm-hmm.
That he decided to name his made-up country after. Guildenstern was another name that he grabbed from something else and put it into the story of how the book was made. And a bunch of other things were just him completely making it up. So there's this story about making the book that is also just complete fiction, and then the book that he wrote after coming up with this massive story.
Yeah, florins actually was the currency of Florence.
Yes.
So it's not all that made up of a country.
But yeah, it's a rather interesting read, especially if you find one that has all of the foreword and the postscript, because it goes through and tells you the ridiculous story that he made about trying to write the book. And throughout the entire book, he's making asides about things that happened while he was trying to make the book. So it's a story within a story, effectively.
Gotcha. So when it comes to books, movies, TV shows, video games, whatever, what kind of genre do you prefer? Like fantasy, sci-fi,
I've made my my choice publicly clear. Science fiction.
Yeah. What about you guys?
TK, you want to go first?
Sure.
Science
Sure.
fiction, fantasy. What kind of entertainment do you like?
I'd say science fiction.
And for me, I read science fiction, I read fantasy, science, every so often just straight science, and historical fiction.
You were supposed to pick one.
You can pick all of them if you want.
Yeah, those are all the main groups that I read.
I like historical. Historical.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Oh, sorry. A lot of those interlap, like the Outlander series.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's all kind of connected. They all sort of end up with the same overall vibe, if you will. But I like historical fantasy. I tend to read more urban fantasy than anything else.
Okay.
Like I said during one of the streams, you should really check out the Dresden Files if you haven't.
Let me write it down. How do you spell it? I can't spell.
It's Dresden, and then Files. It's by Jim Butcher.
Okay.
Yep.
And the premise of that is Harry Dresden is a real wizard that is in the yellow pages of, I think it's the Chicago phone book.
Okay.
And he gets contracted by the police and a number of other groups and individuals in order to solve crimes.
I might get that sounds like something I'll like. I might get Mara to read it with me, and then we can do a book club hangout on it.
SCA, do you watch Matt Christensen's videos?
Yeah, I love his videos.
One of those books is actually in the background.
Okay. I haven't noticed, but I will check them out.
But yeah, also since you were talking about vampires one night during Stream War.
Yeah.
A few nights during Stream War. It has a really cool way of going about vampires in that world. They're separated into 3 courts, each taking on different aspects of vampires from the lore.
What were you going to say, Zenith?
Hello? Hello?
Hello? We can hear you.
Hello? Okay. Yeah, you're all roboting.
Oh, we were roboting?
Yeah. And okay, about you think Scribelight's internet is bad? It's nothing compared to mine.
I don't think his internet's bad. I just think he had a string of really bad nights. We have really good internet, and the storm last night, like legitimately, I couldn't open up the internet like for more than 5 seconds until about midnight. So that was pretty pathetic. But do you guys have like a favorite way that vampires or werewolves or whatever have been done in a series?
I've never put any thought in that.
I always liked Vampire the Masquerade.
You and Scribe would get along great.
Yeah, my team.
Good.
Sorry.
Go ahead.
What are the vampires in that like?
That a question to me?
Yeah.
Well, basically, the first vampire was Cain, who killed his brother Abel, and he was cursed by God to be. I'm doubling up again here somewhere.
You sound that way you said God was amusing. By God, you heard that?
me turn down my mic here somehow.
Is the doubling gone?
You're not echoing. I think the
Okay.
echo's gone.
Okay. Where was I? Oh yeah, it was cursed by God, and that curse was to become a vampire, and he was the first vampire. And when he passed on his curse, the people that he passed it to became second generation vampires, and then the next ones became third generation vampires, which each of them became the blood became diluted enough that they kind of each started to have their own types of weaknesses and their own types of fetishes of how the blood should be handled and used, and the powers that it would give them and whatnot. And that was passed down through their clans from that point on, until you got down to the 14th generation, at which point the blood was so diluted that they lost the connection to the clans.
Okay,
Okay.
that's interesting. So it's kind of like a tiered system.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. And there was the system of climbing the tiers too, that some of the vampires did. If they killed an elder that was some number of steps closer to Cain than they were,
Mm-hmm.
and drank them dry, then it lowered their generation by one so that their powers grew.
Also, it was interesting because as they aged, it took more and more to keep them able to wake up every night and continue acting normally, until eventually it took so much blood for them to wake back up. They would go into a starvation coma type deal.
Yeah.
Until they weakened to such a point that they were able to wake back up. But while they were in that starvation coma, they would go
It was called
crazy.
torpor.
Yes, torpor. And they would go a bit crazy, and their memories would get warped. So it's possible to have a truly ancient vampire that has just woken up in modern days, doesn't remember almost anything of his past, and is having to start from being effectively the lowest tier.
That's really in depth.
Yeah.
Yeah. The vampires.
Well, it was based around they were making a role-playing game out of the various rules,
Right.
tabletop system. So it had to be a pretty in-depth world and rules to build the system off of.
Yeah, no, that makes sense. The vampires that I'm probably going to use, I think I mentioned this on stream, like no matter what your coloring is, you turn gray and your eyes turn red and your hair turns black. Is pretty much what I do.
Mm-hmm.
And then let's say like you manage to live 2,000 or 3,000 years, then you actually start to look a little bit more human. So basically you sort of get rewarded for living a long time. But you can't ever go back out in the sun, and there's no workarounds. Every series I've read has at least one vampire that's found a way to be in the sun, and that I don't know why that drives me nuts, but it drives me nuts.
Including JoJo's Bizarre Adventure.
My two favorite vampire systems are definitely Vampire the Masquerade and then the Dresden Files. because the Dresden Files, like I said, they split it into 3 courts, and each court takes on different aspects of the vampire mythos. So there's the White Court, which is the archetypal seductor/seductress vampire. And they look like just absolutely gorgeous people. And they can feed just off energy or life energy without having to drain blood.
Right.
Then there's the Red Court, which are blood drinkers, and they can turn people into Red Court vampires by sucking their blood, allowing them to live, and then having that person then drain someone else.
Okay.
And then there's the Black Court, which is these terrifying, ridiculously strong, corpse-like vampires, which are the most vicious. They will rip apart people and feed on the gore afterwards.
So they so they'll just like eat a person.
Yes, they will rip apart a person, drink their blood, and eat them.
Yeah, my vampires are they're pretty. They just don't they're clearly not human.
Mm-hmm.
And I think I'm probably gonna have them turn people the same way that like the Vampire Diaries does it, where you drink a vampire's blood and they just snap your neck, and if you die with vampire blood in your system, you wake up.
Ah, okay.
That's how it worked in Vampire the Masquerade, too.
Yeah. So it's not. That's just the first thing that came to my mind. But
we forgot one of the best type of vampires ever: the Twilight.
Pretty Sparkle. That like I said, it always drives. That doesn't actually bother me so much, but it bothers me when you have vampires that do burn in the sun, but then they find some workaround. And my vampires don't have any workarounds. And they started in Europe, and they're confined to Europe because it's really hard to get a person who doesn't look human on a boat and over to the Americas. And there are also other things that like keep them in Europe. But so a lot of my supernatural creatures are regional things.
There was no workarounds that I recall in Vampire the Masquerade, except for maybe one if you count it. In Vampire the Masquerade, there was a second type of vampire from the East that actually had nothing to do with Cain. They instead were of Oriental demons that came back in the body of people who died.
Okay. And they could walk around on the sun?
Sometimes, depending upon the path of the Dharma they were walking.
That actually, that doesn't bother me because I don't really consider that a workaround if it's like ingrained in the lore. I don't know. It just kind of annoys me when an author sets up rules and then are like, but fuck the rules. It's fine. It's like, if you wanted to get rid of the rule, why did you make okay, it's fine. I'm not mad. I'm just disappointed.
The bane of all fiction writing is that.
Yeah. It's interesting how many authors will make a rule and then just ignore it, or just not even lay out their magic system or something in a way that makes it clear what's happening. Anyway, Sanguine, you said that you ordered some stuff from Grimfrost. Did you get it?
Yep.
What do you think?
It's awesome. I got a beard ring and a couple of the beard bands to make it so I could tame my beard enough to get it in the ring.
Yeah, I love their stuff. Are either of you into Norse mythology at all? TK and Zenith?
Not hugely. I was a little back when I used to play Dungeons and Dragons, and we had this book about all the different mythologies
Mm-hmm.
that the clerics could choose to worship the different deities of, and some of the Norse beliefs were pretty cool.
Zenith?
Not really. Not even after
Okay.
the renewed interest by the Thor movies.
Are you interested? Are you guys interested? Yeah, sorry. Are you guys interested in any kind of mythology or like Greek, Roman, anything like that?
I watched the Legendary Journeys of Hercules, or whatever that was that Kevin Sorbo was in.
Disappointed!
Well, if you're ever in the market for like Norse stuff, Grimfrost is a good website to go to. They've got some pretty
Okay.
shit.
And as far as mythologies go, I love Norse mythology. I know a good bit of Greek, Egyptian, some various Asian ones, Japan, China, a fair bit of Hinduism, and some Mesoamerican.
Yeah, I mainly know stuff. I know a lot more about Norse mythology than I do about anything else. But I like mythology. I think it's fun. It's cool.
You'd probably really like Irish mythology. It has a lot of characteristics somewhat like Norse, but pretty much everything in Irish mythology, it's either the hero dies valiantly in a very depressing way, or the heroes become absolutely horrendous.
Well, and it's just all hard to pronounce.
Yes.
Which is even better.
Have you ever looked at Enya's birth name?
I'm sorry?
Have you ever Enya? You know the singer. Have you ever saw her what her birth name looked like?
I don't think I have.
How do you spell her singer name?
Like her Anglified name is Enya Patricia Brennan. You don't get that impression from looking at the original spelling.
Oh yeah, no, I see it. Okay. Yeah, I was working on an outline for a novel that I have since scrapped, and I was like, I'm gonna set it in like friggin' Ireland and like still, and then I looked up names and shit, and I was like, that's pretty. I wonder how it's pronounced. And then I was like, that's not what that says. And then they're all like that. And I now have PTSD, and I gave up. So I will probably never set anything in a place where Gaelic is a thing because it's the worst.
There's very few that are pronounced like they look like they should be. I think one of the best examples is Ashling. Ashling looks exactly how it is pronounced. But then you have Briet, which is spelled like Bridget. And you have Magavan, the name that I use as the second part of my screen name.
Yeah, how do you pronounce that?
Magavan.
I'm sorry, what?
Ma, Gov, An.
Yeah, see, that's not what that fucking says.
Yeah.
But
Irish isn't the only writing that has insane spellings. I only know Reykjavik is pronounced that way because of Craig Ferguson.
Mm-hmm. Well, it's because Irish is an actual language, and in the Latinized characters that we use, they're just pronounced completely differently in the Irish language. So that like Sean, spelled Sean, has roots in the Gaelic language, and that's why it's spelled Cian and pronounced Sean.
Yeah,
because they're on drugs.
At least Irish Gaelic isn't as difficult as Welsh Gaelic.
Oh, oh,
See, I knew better than to try Welsh. I knew not to do that.
especially after seeing that video of the weatherman pronouncing that long ass town from Welsh.
Yeah, no, I knew ahead of time not to fucking touch Welsh. I didn't know about Gaelic. I wish somebody had warned me, but they didn't. I just found out. I just went down that rabbit hole by myself, and I didn't come out of it the same. Okay, so
Laughing at your pain is fun.
TK, do you have any interest in languages or etymology, that kind of thing?
No.
No? Okay.
No, my theories on language are if I speak English loudly enough, they're gonna get it. They're gonna get the idea.
It's a really good theory. I think, yeah, it works. Especially a poor immigrant. That'll definitely help them feel welcome, I think.
I think so.
I think so too. Besides political content, what do you guys watch on YouTube? Or is that all you watch?
Pro Jared, Red Letter Media, that sort of thing.
Got ya. TK?
I watch Let's Plays.
Who are your favorite Let's Players? PewDiePie? Does he even Let's Play?
I don't even know if he does anymore, and I never watched him actually.
Let's Plays have changed over the years. It used to be, silent Let's Plays.
Yeah.
And
generally, I think those were called playthroughs, and then Let's Plays were when the commentary was added, wasn't it?
And then Markiplier and Jacksepticeye came.
I don't mind Markiplier. I don't like Jacksepticeye. He's too shouty. But I like the Game Grumps a lot. I think they're funny.
My favorite is Northern Lion. He's anybody know him?
No.
I don't.
No.
How many subscribers does he have?
He has like I don't know 700,000, I think.
Okay, that's pretty big.
Yeah, his humor's fairly understated. He talks kind of randomly, goes off on tangents about pop culture references and stuff like that.
Sanguine, what do you like to watch on YouTube?
I watch Let's Plays, so Game Grumps. Also, The Ranting Griffin has a number of Let's Plays that he calls Old Bird Gaming.
Mm-hmm.
And then I also watch a lot of science videos. So, have any of you heard of the League of Nerds?
I haven't.
It sounds familiar.
Two scientists. One is in academia, the other is a private sector scientist. And one's a chemist, one's a biologist, and they talk about various scientific topics from GMOs to different bits of woo medicine to just crackpot conspiracies. And they break them down from a scientific perspective.
That sounds interesting.
Yeah, they're really good. It's Miles Powers, who also has another channel that is very good. Power M95, I think. And then it's James Gurney, who has another channel himself, and I can't remember his off the top of my head.
Okay. So as far as our little skeptic community goes, who are your favorites? I mean, obviously, besides me. Who are your favorites?
Who wants to take off? Shall I?
Yeah, go for it.
Okay. I watch all of the big ones, of course. Jeff Holiday, I absolutely love. It's hilarious, especially when he starts getting upset and goes into a bit of a rant.
Yeah, I love Jeff's stuff.
And there's one that I just found recently, a Dr. Layman video, Aiden Paladin.
Okay.
Oh, yes. That was
brilliant.
like sick.
Yeah, she's brilliant. She's a social scientist that goes through all of the papers that people reference and explains why, yes, this paper is good, but it isn't saying what you're saying it's saying. Or, are you kidding me? You're bringing this shit to the argument? Worthless.
I was subscribed to Aiden Paladin before then, so.
Yeah, I found her just due to the video that she did a collab with Layman on. The one where she ripped apart the argument that he put out.
I discovered her during the Bill Nye controversy.
Ah, very nice.
Yeah, because she had some insight on that issue.
I've never heard of the person.
She's very good. You should check her out.
Yeah, I'll have to check her out. TK, who do you watch?
Monkey subscriber since 600.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah. Let's see. I also watch some Jeff Holiday. I watch Bearing. Been a little disappointed lately. The person I first actually saw these videos come from was Sargon, but lately I find his videos have gotten really dry and humorless. Anyone else feel that way?
It depends on the video. Some of them are really good. Others...
I've kept... Oh, sorry.
You first.
Okay, I've actually... Sargon is one of the few YouTubers I kept with. You know, he's actually the channel I first subscribed to.
Yeah, lately to my taste, he's just reminding me more of Teal Deer.
I like his thinkery stuff better than his main channel stuff, because that's where he just shit posts, and his shit posty stuff, I like it better. Because
it might do better if he doesn't keep changing his fucking name on that channel. It used to be Vayvictus, then it was the New Me Media, and now it's the Thinkery.
Well, the Thinkery is actually a new channel because the Vayvictus got taken down.
And there was a New Me Media.
Yeah, but that one got taken down. So the Thinkery is a new one. But he shit posts on there, and it's, I guess maybe it's because he has like that more personality on it.
Especially the video Climbing While Fat.
Yeah, it's just better content. But anyway, I have to go get ready for our nightly stream.
Good luck with that.
I'll see you guys over there, where we're just going to see just how young I am, because they're going to be talking about the fidget spinners of their youth.
Oh boy!
And I'm going to be sitting there looking pretty, which is about all I'm good for on nostalgia streams. But thank you guys so much for joining me, and of course, thank you for supporting my channel. And we are going to do this again next month, so I hope everybody can make it, and thank you guys for watching. Bye, guys.
Bye.